Indonesia's crude oil reserves is estimated to only last for 9 years. Indonesia Stock Exchange adjusts the trading time for DAP Securities and Sukuk. Good afternoon, viewers in Indonesia and Singapore. Market Headlines is ready to provide you a number of information from business, economic, and capital market sectors. With me, Claranta Wijaya, and this is Market Headlines. And yes, viewers, Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources revealed that Indonesia crude oil reserves are only 3.7 million barrels, or sufficient to meet domestic needs for only 9 years. For that, a number of efforts have been made by the government to explore new oil reserves.
The Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources, Arifin Tasrif, revealed that Indonesia's current crude oil reserves reached 3.7 billion barrels, or 0.2% of world oil reserves. This figure is said to only be able to meet domestic needs for about 9 years, assuming no more oil reserves are found. This is not without reason. Arifin stated that oil and gas production, especially oil, tends to decline every year, especially for the last 20 years. For that, the ministry implements a number of strategies, both short and long-term, to increase national oil and gas production.
Cadangan minyak Indonesia tercatat masih ada 3,77 miliar barel, atau hanya 0,2% dari cadangan dunia. Umur cadangan terbukti minyak tersebut hanya sekitar 9 tahun. Dengan asumsi tidak ada lagi temuan cadangan baru. Sedangkan cadangan gas bumi pada posisi yang lebih baik, yaitu masih ada sebesar lebih dari 77 triliun kaki kubik atau 1,5% dari cadangan dunia. Umur cadangan terbukti gas tersebut bisa sampai 22 tahun. Dengan asumsi tidak ada temuan cadangan baru lagi.
One of the strategies in the short term is to optimize the production of existing oil fields by using the enhanced oil recovery method approach. As for the long-term strategy, the government will apply a more massive exploration, whereas currently 42 oil and gas projects are intensively monitored and 4 of them are national strategic projects. From Jakarta, Ade Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
And yes, viewers, still from the energy sector, the increasing use and demand for LPG makes the needs for gas import becomes larger. And for that, a number of steps have been taken by the government to reduce dependence on gas imports.
The increasing need for LPG has made the need for foreign exchange swell due to increasing imports. The dependence of LPG in Indonesia has made the Energy and Mineral Resources Ministry to substitute imports by using other materials. One of the ways to do this is by expanding the city gas network. Through the gas network that is supplied through pipes to consumers' houses, it is expected to reduce dependence on imported gas because city gas is produced by itself.
Yaitu sektor LPG. Kita import LPG besar dan kebutuhannya tiap tahun makin meningkat. Nah, untuk itu akan dibutuhkan devisa yang besar untuk melakukan pengadaan LPG. Nah, kita ada upaya bagaimana kita bisa mengurangi impor ini dengan substitusi bahan-bahan lain. Jadi kita sedang melakukan kajian dan pelaksanaan peningkatan pemanfaatan jaringan gas kota, ya, di mana kita akan memasang jaringan pipa-pipa ya untuk bisa disalurkan kepada para konsumen ya yang selama ini menggunakan LPG dan kita alihkan menjadi gas yang memang kita produksi sendiri. Kemudian kita juga mempunyai program ya untuk menghasilkan substitusi LPG, yaitu dengan memproduksi dimethyl ether yang dihasilkan dari produksi hilirisasi batu bara. Nah, kita
Not only that, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources also encouraged the public to use electric stoves and electric motorbikes to replace fuel. Besides being able to reduce the need for gas and fuel oil derived from fossil, it is also aims to increase the use of new renewable energy. From Jakarta, De Firmansyah for IDX Channel.
The government stated that the National Economic Recovery Program budget disbursement is not optimum. And regarding that, the coordinating minister for the economy ensures that he will evaluate corporate financing policies, which budget appropriation is very low.
The government will evaluate the National Economic Recovery Program, especially in the corporation sector, which is considered not optimum. The coordinating minister for the economy explained that the corporate sector is considered to be still lacking in the development. It can be seen from the fact that its budget has not been developed much. The latest data shows that the corporate financing sector is still underdeveloped. So the government will evaluate the program together with the associations of state-owned banks regarding constraining factors.
Secara nasional yang terkait dengan sektor korporasi karena penyerapannya masih relatif rendah yang bantuan melalui Himbara dan Perbanas. Nah, ini akan dilakukan evaluasi dan terkait dengan perencanaannya akan diperhatikan dan diperbaiki atau direvisi karena penyerapannya tidak seperti yang diharapkan.
Meanwhile, the budget realizations for SMEs is estimated to reach 128.21 trillion rupiah from the previous figure 123.46 trillion rupiah, while the corporate sector budget is reduced from 53.6 trillion rupiah to 48.85 trillion rupiah. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
Bank Indonesia ensures that the government and House of Representatives has a house agreement in facing economic challenges next year will be fully supported by Bank Indonesia. Bank Indonesia's governor also explained that the central bank will soon discuss further details about the burden sharing.
Bank Indonesia ensures that the agreement in the 2021 state budget posture is in accordance with what is projected. Other than that, in following up the synergy between the government and Bank Indonesia, the central bank will carry out further talks with the finance ministry to ensure that Bank Indonesia will continue to support state budget financing. The governor of Bank Indonesia, Peri Warjo, explained that his party will continue to carry out burden sharing phase 1 according to the preliminary talks conducted between BI and the finance ministry. According to the agreement of Phase 1, Bank Indonesia will become a standby buyer in the government bonds auction so that government financing can also be helped.
Yang berkaitan dengan pembelian langsung. Sebagaimana juga sudah dikomunikasikan oleh Bu Menteri Keuangan, tentu saja untuk tahun depan burden sharing yang pertama yang 16 April 2020 itu tentu saja pada waktunya tentu saja Bu Menteri sama kami akan membahasnya untuk secara lebih detail sehingga betul-betul sinergi antara fiskal sama moneternya tentu saja akan terus berlangsung.
In addition, Bank Indonesia will continue to synergize with fiscal authority through policies that have been taken, such as lowering interest rates, increasing liquidity, maintain exchange rates, and share the burden for fiscal financing. From Jakarta, Raharjo Patmo for IDX Channel.
And yes, viewers, stay tuned for market headlines because we will be right back after this quick break with the news coverage regarding financial technological role in supporting national economic recovery. So stay tuned.
Kita terpaksa kembali menerapkan pembatasan sosial berskala besar.
Kondisi dari pandemi COVID-19 sampai sejauh ini
yang paling akan langsung terkena dampaknya adalah orang-orang yang bekerja di sektor informal.
Presiden Joko Widodo mendukung penuh langkah Badan Pemeriksa Keuangan untuk mengaudit anggaran penanganan COVID-19.
Saya tegaskan untuk menyamakan frekuensi bahwa kita memang dalam kondisi krisis.
PT Raja Wali Nusantara Indonesia terus melakukan sinergi.
Kami mendapat amanah untuk menjadikan pangan ini tidak menjadi satu isu lagi.
senang sekali saya David San Oval dan dapat hadir menemani Anda dalam program spesial dialog webinar on TV.
Setiap minggunya kita akan membahas tema-tema yang sangat menarik. Apa kabar ibu-ibu sekalian?
Alhamdulillah baik.
Salah satu ambisi daripada Kementerian Koperasi dan UMKM bersama Smesco adalah koperasi keren, baru, digital gitu kan, yang kita bisa IT.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. Government distributes loan to help businesses to recover from severe economic impact of COVID-19 pandemic as a part of national economic recovery. And see this thing, the Indonesian Fintech Associations, or AFTEC, says financial technology has capability in taking a role in supporting national economic recovery as well.
Chairman of AFTEC, Niki Luhur, stated that the COVID-19 pandemic has driven fintech adoptions in several business models, including digital payments and peer-to-peer lending. This can be seen from the number of e-money instruments, which has increased during the pandemic, precisely in the implementations of large-scale social restrictions. Whereas, in April 2020, the number hit an all-time high of 412 million users. And talk about peer-to-peer lending. The amount of online loans also continues to increase. In June 2020, the amount reached 113.46 trillion rupiah. The number went up 152.23% higher than the same month of last year. Through these statistics, the chairman of AFTEC believes that the fintech has a potential to support national economic recovery. During the COVID-19 pandemic, digital payments have helped more individuals and SMEs transactions. Peer-to-peer lending continues to provide access of financing. From all sources, IDX Channel.
And yes, viewers, during the COVID-19 pandemic, technology has created new opportunities for digital financial services to accelerate and enhance the financial inclusions. Hand in hand with the government's focus on the National Economic Recovery Program, financial technology has a role in boosting Indonesia's economy as well. Therefore, live by Zoom, we are going to discuss about fintech's role in supporting national economic recovery. And of course, with the relevant spokespersons joining us, Mercy Simorangkir, as Managing Director at Indonesia Fintech Associations, or AFTEC. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for joining us in here. How are you? Hello, ma'am.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
of course.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm really good. Thank you for asking, ma'am.
Not a problem.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to address you this thing. Government is currently working on the national economic recovery, as we know that Indonesia economy is projected to hit its contractions in 2020, whereas the finance minister stated that in the third quarter, Indonesia's economy will have a deep contraction here. While in the financial technological side, I would like to know your perspective. How about fintech role in supporting national economy?
Well, nowadays, with the low-touch concept being more and more moving towards or equal as digitalization and adoption of digital means in every aspect of our life, fintech adoption has increased, and we believe that in addition to creating more access to financial services, it can also help increase more economic opportunity, especially during this pandemic time, that hopefully can help and can support the economic recovery of Indonesia. So we can see, for example, from the adoption of fintech in payment system, the adoption of e-money that continues to increase during this pandemic and has reached its peak in April 2020 by over 412 million instrument of e-money circulating in the market. The adoption of e-money has helped merchants, who are mostly MSMEs, to do transaction, and also help consumers in do transaction. We also see a continuing increasing number of loan disbursed to peer-to-peer lending fintech, and also more adoption of fintech in different level of vertical. Now, different level of vertical is something that I must inform you first, because often people think of fintech as equal as peer-to-peer lending, which is not. Currently, fintech in Indonesia has grown from originally back in 2016 only have like around 2 or 3 dominant model. Right now we have more than 23 business model. So the alike of fintech in the capital market also help boost the economy and help the economy to recover. So yeah.
Well, of course, ma'am. That's really interesting what you mentioned about the small, medium enterprises. As we know that the government put much effort on helping small, medium enterprises in the midst of pandemic. As we know that government has allocated around 123 trillion rupiah for helping the SMEs. And I would like to know, in your opinion, how can fintech help these small, medium enterprises?
So there are a couple of ways that fintech can help small and medium enterprises. I mentioned earlier that there are 23 fintech business model, at least those who are identified and being our members so far. So among these 23 business model, it consists of big, and it provides different level of financial services to the MSMEs. For example, it provides funding opportunity, alternative funding for capital rising, and also it provides payment. So the fintech solution, the financial services solution offered to MSMEs by ease their means of payment, also at the same time increase their outreach to new consumer, even across, outside Indonesia. And also there are fintech that provides back-end support, like services that help MSMEs to manage their, for example, tax or accounting. So those type of fintech solutions that provided support for MSMEs in their business operational. Also, there are MSMEs that can support in their cash management, for example, the like of the fintech and financial planner. So there are different ways on which fintech can help MSMEs, not solely on financing or not solely on access to capital, but also in cash management in ways that they can improve the productivity. And also, what most important is fintech actually create a wider access for new consumers, new economic opportunity for these MSMEs through the digital ecosystem. You're probably talking about the e-commerce and you like as a part of the digital ecosystem as a whole.
Oh, yes, ma'am. When you talk about 23 business models of fintechs, which one is really popular here among Indonesians?
Well, right now, if we look at it from the perspective of the association, from the realm of fintech in the association, we see around 40% of them are peer-to-peer lenders, peer-to-peer lending, fintech. And then there are also fintech in payment system and fintech, variety different of fintech in the capital market, as well as under the regulatory sandbox. We call it the digital financial innovation.
All right, ma'am. Can you mention at least what are the collaborative moves between government and fintech nowadays in the midst of pandemic?
So, as mentioned before, fintech has been doing quite a good number of collaboration with the government. We've seen progress where the government has worked with fintech in disbursing some of those social assistance programs. And then there are also some projects or programs that currently being deployed to help MSMEs by the government. So like Bangga Buatan Indonesia or like Kartu Prakerja are just amongst the social assistance and government support programs that delivered in collaboration with fintech.
All right, ma'am, that's really interesting how government and fintech are collaborating and bolster alliance to make a national economic recovery happens in Indonesia. And of course, we can take a conclusions that financial technology has a big role in supporting the national economic recovery, right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
I think just quickly mentioning that this is, I think, the first of what's going to be a continuous effort of a continuous collaboration between government and fintech, as we've seen that there is currently a plan to improve the G2P system in Indonesia.
Exactly, ma'am. Ma'am, thank you for your time with us. Really appreciate your time with us.
Thank you.
Yes, good evening, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And yes, viewers, stay tuned to Market Headlines because we will be right back after this quick break. Pandemi Corona memberikan dampak yang signifikan bagi para pelaku usaha. Namun meski demikian, Konfederasi Serikat Pekerja Indonesia atau KSPI meminta kenaikan upah minimum sebesar 8%.
Adi akan ada proyek bikin hunian atau tempat tinggal?
Konsepnya adalah membawa kemudahan masyarakat sekitar Jakarta untuk bekerja di pusat kota. Total saat ini Adi Komputer Property mengembangkan 11 titik ya. Kalau Mas baru beli sekarang mungkin udah ke 3.000 sekian pembeli.
Kita bisa mulai merasakan fase 1 di tahun berapa?
Di tahun 2021.
Hello, I'm Clara Antawijaya. I'm associate producer and news presenter on Market Headlines. As Market Headlines starts at 4:30 p.m., which is in line with the closing market, therefore we summarize market conditions only for you. And my job in here as a journalist, I give concise and accurate news for the audience. And also, being a journalist is not only a job for me, but it is also a passion.
Welcome back to Market Headlines. So viewers, let's take a look at the capital market situations right now. Starting from Jakarta, Composite Index intraday movement. Earlier today, GCI was open at the level of 4,962.95 and then approaching the closing time in the first session. Through your screen, you can see that the index was on level of 4,923.76, and the index was showing weakening trend by the second session's closing time. The index was closed at a level of 4,906.54, and in short, JCI went down 0.79%. And step aside from a JCI, we're going to see the intraday movement of rupiah towards US dollar. So rupiah earlier today opened at the level of 14,959, and rupiah was also showing strengthening trend towards US dollar. I was closed at the level of 14,871. In summary, rupiah went up 0.18%. And yes, viewers, starting today, Indonesia's stock exchange has adjusted trading hours for DAP Securities and Sukuk, and also reporting time. And this is in line with the central bank policy to adjust its operational hours.
The Indonesia Stock Exchange adjusts its trading time for DAP Securities and Sukuk and reporting time. These stipulations is effective on Monday, September 2020. This is in connection with the announcement of Bank Indonesia regarding the policy to adjust the operational schedule and public services of Bank Indonesia towards the new era of normality. Hand in hand, this is a step to follow up the letter from the head of Capital Market Supervision's Department 2A of the Financial Services Authority. Therefore, schedule for trading DAP securities and Sukuk through the fixed income trading system becomes like this. Monday to Friday, first session, trading will run from 9:30 a.m. to 12 a.m. Monday to Friday, second session, trading will run from 1:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. And in the other hand, Friday first session, trading will run from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Friday second session, trading will run from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Meanwhile, trade in the government securities on electronic trading platform system is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., which previously closed at 3 p.m., while securities transactions reporting becomes 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., which was previously closed at 3:30 p.m. From all sources, IDX channel.
And yes, viewers, moving on to telecommunications issuer XL Axiata that has received a loan from Permata Bank worth 1.5 trillion rupiah. The loan program, which provides working capital to accelerate network quality, has 5 years tenure.
Group Head of Corporate Communications of XL Axiata, Tri Wahyuningsi, said that the company prefers Bank Permata loans because it has a long tenure with a high loan interest rates. But she kept silence about the interest. If it goes according to the plan, XL Axiata will use the loan facility for capital goods procurement, investment, loans and bonds refinancing, and payment of the other general liabilities. A capital goods that XL Axiata means in this case is regarding the base transceiver station and network fibrizations, whereas the company plans to increase the network capacity and quality. From all sources, IDX channel.
And yes, we're a step aside from the market conditions as coronavirus pandemic takes a big role on current economic situations. Here it is an update data about coronavirus globally. And the graphic close of market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX channel, your trustworthy economic business and capital market channel. I'm Claranta Wijaya. Have a nice evening and stay safe.